In today's journey, we successfully mashing glass for the first time. Thanks to our newly constructed Herm system that takes the direct heat off of the glass and puts it into this stainless steel pot. We will go into more detail about that later. Right now we started the day by preheating 1 gallon of water to 164 degrees Fahrenheit. This will be our strike temperature. Our target mash temperature is 152 degrees Fahrenheit, and we aim to hold that for at least 1 hour. We are simulating a 1 gallon brew day with a target gravity of 1060. We will achieve this by using 3 pounds of 2-row brewer's malt as our grain bill. And just like making gravy, we'll want to add this slowly to avoid dry spots and dough balls. Phil will be using a funnel in order to limit the amount he can put in at once. This also complements the small opening that we have for our mash tun as well. This will take some time, so we will fast forward for your convenience. And in classic Phil fashion, he drops some grain on the floor. It's at this point you would want to take your mash paddle, we have a whisk, and make sure that your grains are fully mixed and that the temperature is even across all the areas of the mash tun. Phil may be doing it a little excessive, so we're going to fast forward. We will also take this time to reprogram a thermal controller to our mash temperature of 152 degrees Fahrenheit. The last thing we do before letting this sit for an hour is testing the outlet pump on the mash tun. We want to make sure that the addition of the grains did not block anything, causing problems down the road. We will not only use time manipulation at this point, but also cutting away to B-roll to give you a better view of the mashing process. Because a lot of what we do at BBC is a learn-as-we-go process, we would like to know what you think about what we're doing. Please let us know below what you would like to see in future videos. And if you'd like to see the quality of our content improve, think about supporting us over on our Patreon page, link in the description below. At this point, we're about 20 minutes into the mash, and you can start to see how the grains are expanding over this next 10 minutes time. Although it's just a few seconds to us. And here you can start to see why brewing in glass has been such an important goal to us over the years, as it gives us a look into the process that isn't available with other materials. Now that the HLT has come to the same temperature as the mash, 152 degrees Fahrenheit, we can now start to recirculate to maintain the temperatures more efficiently. Recirculating the mash also has the added benefit of starting a filtration process. Off camera, we use one of our blunt syringes to take a sample from our wort outlet to make sure that we don't get any grain particles into the sample. This, along with a few drops of iodine, will be mixed together to perform what is called a starch test. This is to make sure that all the starch has been converted to sugars during the mashing process. If anything turns purple, continue mashing for 10 minutes and discard the sample. If nothing changes, discard the sample anyways and move on to the next step. With our sample passing, we can now move on to the next step by preparing for our fly sparge. We have done this by preparing 168 degree water in the stainless steel pot, which will be passed over the mash tun using one pump, while the other pump will be taking the wort out of the mash tun and extracting it into what will be the boil kettle for the next video. The main trick here is to have the same amount of headspace above the grain bed, and definitely do not allow it to go dry. You can start to extract off flavors at that point. This ends up being a problem for us, and we will have to rework our system. Unfortunately, there was also other problems with our system, such as the temperature controller not maintaining good temperatures, so this beer is actually destined to failure. But not due to brewing in glass, and so therefore we still call this a success. And next time when we have a chance to rework our system, we will go over the entire process from start to finish, including the brewing and fermenting. How about that? Phil's actually going to use the high temp safety gloves after all. It would be such a shame for something to go so horribly wrong at this point. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out some of our other videos. And to those that said mashing in glass would be impossible, here's your I told you so. And if you're wondering if we're going to be held up on the next phase with boiling in glass, we've already finished those tests, even the wort chiller that you can see here. The only real problem is we have no idea how to clean it when it's attached to a wall like this. We're going to either need to get 1/4 inch quick disconnects or switch over to silicone hosing on that. I mean, it's not like we've ever messed up boiling water before.